Hi there. Monkey's with me today, but she's obviously decided to trot off. Right, so yesterday I did the quilting for you. I just wanted to go through a block because I've had a couple of messages this morning and reading the comments. So I just want to make it really clear how I go about doing a block because it's really simple. So what I've done here, it's a bit wasteful on paper, but I always save this piece. So what I've done is I've done myself a grid. Each square is 2 inches, so it's just a 2-inch grid, and I've done 6 blocks on that grid. So I've tried to squeeze everything up so that we can all see. So I've got my 2-inch grid there, and then I've chosen to do the 2-inch, obviously to match. We've got 2-inch marble, and these are the actual ones I did yesterday when I did the marbling with you on the screen. So I've just cut that up into 2-inch squares, and this is the same colour, only it's done as a block colour. So I've just got my A4 sheet of paper, because I do it all on A4, and I've got a brush, and I've just painted the whole sheet edge to edge with this, which is it's one of the deep dark blues. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one I used with the marbling. And then obviously that's the marbling piece I did with you yesterday. So they're just cut into 2-inch squares. My grid here, now I've done a little bit of a light spray on here because I thought it might be easier. Got my Feels Sentimentally Yours glue, and I'm just literally going to put a few dabs around on the piece of paper, hardly anything. I'll pick that up and just show you there's hardly any glue whatsoever on there, just the odd dot. Now to start off with, start in the bottom right hand corner. Just to tell you, I'm not filthy, my nails aren't filthy, they're stained with the blue. It comes off your hands alright, but if it gets under your nails it takes a little while to come across. So what I'm going to do is line up my 2-inch square block with the lines, and that's the first piece in place. Now what you want to do is not worry so much about lining it up on the edges. You want to make sure you always make sure the inside is lined up. I mean, if they're 2.5 inches and 2 inches and 2 inches, then you shouldn't really have a problem. So I just turn my sheet around and I edge that right up to my, make sure that's level, and then just add the block. So that's your second 2-inch. Take another piece of the marble, line it up again onto your block, and that's your third piece. What you could do to make it easier, if you do your block and then just maybe put a cross in the block that you're going to do the solid colours, and then then you won't get lost. But because you're only doing a 9 block here, it's fairly straightforward. Again, line it up with your centre panel. Just go a little bit quicker now. Line that up with your centre and your edge. Centre and your edge. Whoops, that's the only thing with sticky glue, it is a bit of a nuisance. And then we just do that again on this edge here. There we are, so that is your block done. So all the points perfectly lined up, they're all stuck down nicely. Then what I do is I go ahead and I trim the edges. Keep this piece of paper because usually what I do is I usually use that as a paint, a solid paint colour maybe, or if you're doing a smaller block, anything like that. So don't throw it away, it's just a waste. So that is that. I've got one here that I'm going to press for you. It's exactly the same, but I've trimmed it down. So exactly the same. Got some gorgeous patterns in there with the marbling that I did yesterday. So that's exactly the same as I've done. Just going to move the press. Sorry, I haven't got enough room to actually bring the press right up. Just make sure, as I said yesterday, with your fabric, make sure that you've left enough so that you can get your 1/4 inch seam allowance through there. So just centre that, put that on there, that in the press, turn that round, and then pop that on for 70 seconds. So here are the other 3 that I've done. So that's my block. These are all the same, so these will make a big 12 by 12 inch block then when they're stitched together. So there's my 3. As I said, what I'll do then is put them face to right sides together, line them up, and then just stitch across that line, which will give you the first one, and then do the second. Do the same with the second, exactly the same as you would with quilting. These look fine like that, but what you can do is, if you want to, you can just put a stitch line along, just if you want to. But I mean, if you're doing a big quilt, these are going to be you're going to quilt over the top anyway, so it's entirely up to you what you want to do. I think they look just as good like that if you don't want to go, but if you want to make it look as though you've actually stitched, you can just do a stitch along each of those lines. It doesn't take long, and it's easy just to follow the line through. So this is my one ready. Oh, I just wanted to show you this. I'll just turn that off for a sec. This is what I love this. I mean, this to me looks like a little like a lovely road. You get some lovely patterns with the marbling. Really nice colours they are together. So let's put those aside, and here's the one we've just done. And there we are, and there's your quilt block done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a quilt block each week. So this is your 9, just a basic plain 9 block. You know, hopefully that's made it a little bit easier to understand. It is fairly straightforward. I think the hardest thing with this is choosing your colours when you put your quilt together. So if you missed the video yesterday, do have a look, because one of the things I do recommend is that you do yourself a colour chart, just an A4 sheet of paper. You know, do yourself a little sheet and then cut a little patch of each one, line them up, and then you've got always in front of you the colours. Use the piece of fabric that you're going to use for your actual project. So let's have a look. If you've got say, I mean, this one is a 50-50 poly cotton mix. This I did show yesterday. This is one that I did stitch. I have stitched down the edges, but it's still the faux quilting that I've decided that it would be quite fun to share. Like I said yesterday, I'm not a great quilter, so when it comes to, especially with the smaller 1x1s, this is where I come a cropper, because I can do a few and then somehow they go offline, and so to me this is a great way if you're starting, because you know, if you haven't got the confidence to do the smaller ones especially, then why not try and do something like this? It gives you a really nice result. The most important thing is you've got your own bespoke fabrics. No one else has got these fabrics, it's only you. So you can design your own fabric, and then you've got a whole gorgeous quilt that no one else will have. And it's great fun and very addictive, you know, incredibly addictive. So what I'll do, I'll put that panel together and I'll show you that, at the beginning of the next video I do with a new block. Maybe do something a little bit more exciting than just 9 blocks, but you know, it's a good way to start. So once again, if you've got any questions, put them below the video and then I'll answer them. I think the next video I'm going to do is like a journal, the stitch journal, just to show you basically how to stitch that. I had it on the show and a few people had asked, so I'll get that done as soon as I can, and then next week I'll do another quilt block for you, and then we'll go from there. So have fun. Pictures would be great if you've got any pictures of if you're going to quilt along, because that'd be nice, wouldn't it, if we do a block a week and then you know, see what other people have come up with, any of their ideas. So that's it for now, and see you soon. Take care. Bye.